name's Owen, and I'm the Dungeon Master of our Return of the Giants 5th edition homebrew campaign.
Hi, I'm Ali. I'm playing Lyra, the Eladrin Spore Druid, and she is just a little bit obsessed with mushrooms.
Hi, my name's Simon. I'm playing the character of Ember. I'm a wildfire druid who's on a quest to be the very best there ever was.
Hi, I'm Dave, and I play Harry Harrington, the Harrengon, the roguish merchant with the heart of gold.
My name is Christian. I'm playing Bartholomew, the romantic dancing Owlin, Paladin of devotion.
Hi, my name is Matt, and I'll be playing Niles Silverwind, the Owlin, Way of the Sympathy Monk.
Hey guys, I'm Jared. I play the character of Threign, the boisterous frost giant, the Goliath, path of the giant Barbarian.
Hello there, lovely listener. This is just a warning to let you know that this episode of Return of the Giants may contain adult language or adult themes. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Lost Archives. It is wonderful to see all of your gorgeous faces once again. We are here, we are back, we are streaming and recording the Return of the Giants, the premiere D&D new edition that covers us of Dungeons & Dragons. We are really, really ready and excited to get back in. We have 2 apologies for tonight. Actually, technically only 1 apology. There's an ongoing apology from Jared, which we know about. I don't think I need to say it every week. Hopefully we'll see Jared soon. Jared, come back and join us. We're missing you, buddy. February's almost over. Come on, come join us. And we have an apology from Simon. Now, Simon was super keen, ready to go. His flight back from Adelaide to his home, however, was cancelled about an hour and a half ago. So he's definitely not making it back in time for the stream. So hopefully, I think he's now on a flight to Canberra and then on a flight to Melbourne, but that sucks. So, all right, F's in the chat for Simon. Hopefully he'll be back again next week. But yeah, that sucks. Poor Simon. Once again, our luck with our workplace continues, and I won't say any more than that, so I don't get in trouble in case people are watching. We have some other fun news to share. Those of you who are fans of Disco Elysium, I don't know if you've seen, but there is a new game studio, which a couple of the devs that were responsible for Disco Elysium, those not associated with Zaum anymore, called Longdew, and it looks like they're going to be bringing out a Kickstarter very soon for a game called Hopetown, which is a very similar game in the vein of Disco Elysium, where you play as a reporter investigating a political situation within a mining town. I'm really excited to check it out. I'll keep you guys posted with more news. The Kickstarter's, I think, in very early days. There's nothing much on there just yet. I haven't really heard much news about it, but I'm very, very excited because if it's some of the main writers from Disco Elysium, it's going to be awesome. So I'm super keen on that. And, oh yeah?
I think there was a bit of controversy about them claiming to be on the writing board of Disco Elysium, actually. It's worth reading into. I think there's controversy.
Is there controversy? I'll go check it out. Yeah. I hadn't checked it out enough. I'd just done a very brief look into it when I saw it pop up, and I was like, great, I'm so excited. I love Disco Elysium. So they're claiming that they were the writers, but they're not. God damn it. Why can't we just have nice things?
I think it's a grey thing. Like, were they writers? They could have been, but they might not have been. They're not the primary writer, but
let's just have nice things. Why can't we just have nice things? Okay, in the vein of nice things, Pokemon Presents is tomorrow. So I'm hoping that we get some good news from that. I'd like some announcement on Legends ZA. Legends Arceus was fucking awesome, so Legends ZA would be great. And the Switch 2 looks awesome. I'm excited for that. Henry Cavill's project for Warhammer, I've heard that that's progressing nicely. He's doing like a Warhammer 40k movie, was it? That's good news. Yeah. There's some good news that we can desperately grab for. That'll be great. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, so I'm very excited for Pokemon because obviously big Pokemon fan here. We played through all of Legends Arceus and all of Scarlet. All of Violet. Can't even remember which edition I had. Played through all of those on the Lost Archives. So we will absolutely be doing a playthrough of Legends ZA as well. And for those of you who have been enjoying Aloft, great news. There's so many more episodes coming. I'm also fucking loving Aloft. I recorded a couple more episodes today. Just entered into the new biome, the Red Cliffs biome. It's like this sandstone floating islands desert biome. It's fucking beautiful. I'm loving every second of it. So if you haven't had a chance to check out Aloft yet, you absolutely should. I think there's now like 20 episodes. I think there's only like 14 or 15 out at the time of this being streamed, but by the time you're watching this recorded or a little bit down the track, there should be 20 plus. I'm really loving it. It's so much fun. Monster Hunter Wilds. See, there's great games coming out. There's exciting stuff coming out. I'm excited for Monster Hunter Wilds too. That looks sick. Thank you, Foxtrot. That is a good reminder. Yeah, Monster Hunter Wilds looks really fun as well. I haven't really ever played much Monster Hunter. I played, what was the one that came out on the Wii that was like a reboot, like a soft reboot of part of it? I played that for a bit and I really enjoyed that, but I just never, I don't know, I never had the time to like put aside to get into it, but I really want to play Monster Hunter Wilds. It's really cool. I'm excited for it. Awesome sauce. Well, unless we've got any other fun news to share, no, everyone's looking like there's no fun news to share.
Ready.
Perfect. Then let us jump into the session. I got a little bit of a recap to get us up to speed. For those of you who are watching on the stream, Matt is here. He's just had to jump out for a second. I think one of his family called to just check in on, so he's just going to jump out on that. I still have 78 hours left on Hello Kitty Island as well. Yeah, it's true. If it's 80 hours of content and I only did 2, it's a good point. It's a good point. Maybe I do have a bit more. All right, let's do our recap. Let's jump into the session. Oh, and for those of you who were asking, sorry, there were some people who were asking about the magic tattoos, which module they're from. It's the Tome of Mystic Tattoos. You can find it on DriveThruRPG. There'll be a link in the pinned comment below if you're watching this on YouTube. And I'll put it on the last episode too. I had a couple of people asking the Discord where they could find that module. That's where you find it. It's really cool. Yeah, the second one's coming out, I think, in a couple of months, so I'm really excited for that. We'll have a whole bunch more tattoos added in the next few months, which will be excellent. Alrighty. The Tempest Adventuring Guild, a name now legendary across the lands of Nostea, is taking on the threat posed by the return of the giants. Lyra, Niles, Harry, Ember, Threign, and newcomer Bartholomew have just returned to the surface after delving deep into the Underdark, taking on the threat of stone giants under the influence of a devil and a Duergar. With the head of the guild, Mira, currently in a meeting with the Oxenfurt Council, and Lockie, one of the guild members, off organising their catch-up with Sinmare, the team have now had some spare time to explore the city. Heading over to the Tempest Guild blacksmith, a tabaxi called Howls Under the Earth, the team traded some items they had recovered, including Bahir skin and a mithril belt, in exchange for supplies and some enchanted items. While the party were focused on the items they had recovered, Harry slipped away and headed towards the central merchant bank of Oxenfurt. Stepping inside, he was greeted warmly by the attendants. Upon speaking a secret password, quickly taken into the vaults below to retrieve some items from a strongbox. Heading upstairs, Harry then met with Secret, a tiefling businesswoman and current head of the Oxenfurt chapter of the Thieves Guild. Sharing the details of his adventures with the Tempest Guild, it was revealed that the Silverwind family had been engaging the Thieves Guild to source giant relics and metal for them. Meanwhile, back at the Night Hall, the group headed into Griswold's tower to meet with the gnome Artificer. After introducing the new members of the team, they prepared to show Griswold the contents of their bag of holding, also seeking his advice on how to deal with their bagman. After a brief bit of chaos, resulting in the bagman being released into Griswold's extraplanar space, the situation was partially resolved, and the team were free to get their items appraised. After learning a little bit more about Griswold and allowing him to examine the Heartstones, the team had some time on their hands to do some further shopping. While Bart made his way towards the airship docks, the rest of the team reunited with Harry and made their way down towards the Oceanside dock and the magic tattoo parlor they had visited previously. Lyra shared the ingredients and components they had gathered in the Underdark and excitedly began to flip through the catalogue of available tattoos with her companions. With everyone but Ember deciding on their favourite tattoo designs, the team endured the discomfort of the needle as lines of glowing ink began to etch across their skin. Meanwhile, Bart passed by the busy Aarakocra Messenger Guild tower, looking up as a small group of messengers began to dispatch what looked like a large number of paper flyers. Curious, but cautious about being spotted, Bart ducked into a small, almost hidden storefront, looking a bit like an antique store. Meeting with the owner, a salamander-looking dragonborn called Salazar, Bart found himself walking away clutching a sealed earthenware bowl marked with wind patterns and a scroll depicting some martial art forms. Rejoining the team at the tattoo shop, the group was so impressed with Inkspren's work they decided to offer her a job with the guild. While Harry offered to accompany Inkspren to the harbour before guiding her back to the Night Hall, the rest of the team made their way through the firelit streets toward the unseen university, the large sandstone walls and looming towers rising high above the nearby houses. And that is where we left off last session. We jump straight back in as Lyra, Niles, Ember, and Bart, as you approach the front gates of the university, you can see a sprawling courtyard beyond, filled with plants, greens, seats, common areas. But as it's night, most of the university grounds are somewhat abandoned, people sticking to the main parts and the soft illuminated light glowing from the lampposts that line this corridor down towards the main hall of the university. The front doors are wide open, warm lights spilling from the threshold as students leaving their afternoon classes, or maybe heading home, maybe heading out for a night on the town, move through the busy streets. People of many different ages, predominantly adults. It looks like the night classes are generally geared more towards the adults, but you can see a couple of teenagers moving through, hurriedly checking around, making sure they're not going to be caught by the Bursa. As you approach the gates, you watch as a rather tall figure with red skin pushes his way through a group of students, sort of idling away, loitering on the steps, comparing notes over some design. You watch as one of the students rips out a page of their book, scrunches it up and throws it in the air, and the paper immediately folds itself into a little butterfly design. A little origami butterfly begins flapping around. You watch as some of the students go, oh yeah, and begin taking notes. And then a moment later, Celius Grell, the professor that you had spoken to previously, the hobgoblin professor, pushes his way through, touches the butterfly with his finger as it bursts into flame, the ash sort of filtering down around him. He goes,
"Excuse me, pardon. No magic on the steps. Come now. Got a practice room for that."
And then makes his way down along the courtyard, which as he nods to two of the guards.
Yes, I'll be back in a moment.
And then pauses as he sees the lot of you. You watch as he sort of peers through his half-moon spectacles, puts them up on top of his head and goes,
"Well, either I've been drinking in the future, or you're all back from the Underdark."
Not sure about the future, but we're definitely back from the Underdark.
Well, congratulations, I think, for surviving would be my first port of call, my first comment. Well done. It's a dangerous place. Did you, I was going to head out and perform a task, but I think, given the circumstances, perhaps a drink is in order.
I don't know about the others, but I could definitely go for one.
Well, if it's up to you where you want to go. I was planning on making my way to a nearby tavern if we are hoping for a drink. Otherwise, we can head inside. There's some cheap wines and beers at the university.
We do have some things. Dream, nice to meet you. I'll extend a hand forward and try to shake.
I'm sorry. You're right. I'm so rude. I haven't introduced myself. Professor Celius Grell.
Nice to meet you. I don't know if you already know everyone here. It's a bit difficult getting the timeline of this cohort.
So this lot met with me before they went to the Underdark for some advice. I was an ex-member of the Society of Brilliance. Well, not ex-member, but yeah.
That has to do with our reports. We are in a time crunch. I'll look at Lyra, but I wouldn't mind worrying if we want to have not just Inkspren, but our meeting with Mira happening soon. But if we to quickly catch up, how far do you say the tavern is? We could probably do a drink.
He points down the road. You can see, not even a block away, the warm light spilling from a tavern doorway. A sign above it displays it as the Wizard's Hat, and you can see the sign is actually an upside down Wizard's Hat, and it looks like on the painting of the sign, beer is foaming out of the Wizard's Hat.
We probably have time for one drink, and I think you'll want to hear it. It's a colleague of yours that you had some close interactions with.
I see. We're going to be one of those conversations. Well, I wouldn't mind a drink in me if we're going to be doing that. Come on, then.
And you watch as he just begins marching off down the street, his steady gait and long legs carrying him quite quickly through the crowd of people moving through the front gates of the university.
You'll like the drinks here, Barbs. They're quite innovative.
I like anything, honestly, compared to just running under dark lake water.
Well, yes.
You know that the aboleths don't get out to poo or pee from the dark lake. They don't get out to do that, so...
To a toe and swimming through it, it's not nice, though.
Yeah.
Gross.
Not to mention grungs. Ugh. As you follow Celius Grell, he leads you into the tavern. You can see that clearly this has kind of been adopted as the students and professors' tavern of the Unseen University. There are a number of very clearly borderline old enough students in the tavern. You can see one of them has what you first think is an old man, very long grey beard, who orders a drink as, can I have one beer, please? And then you watch as he puts his hand through his beard, revealing it to be an illusion as he pays for the gold, which is the innkeep just looks down. This very, very, very friendly-looking halfling who's standing up on a stool behind the bar. You watch as she looks through and goes, "Oh dear, did you really think that would work, lovely? I mean, the illusion works quite nice, but the hairs aren't moving. They're static. You just put your hand through it." You watch as the student goes, and then turns and quickly dashes out. Halfling sort of shakes her head, and then as she spots Celius coming in, she goes, "Cel, welcome. Your booth's just at the back. If you're entertaining guests, visiting academics from afar." Celius sort of pauses and goes,
Acquaintances and friends.
"Well, please, you feel free to take one of the booths at the back. I'll be round with the menu shortly." With that, as you push through the crowd of people, Celius leads you down a small set of stairs, a little half set to a sunken, almost like a sunken downstairs area, kind of away from the rest of the tavern. You can see booths have been set up here to give you a bit of privacy, and this is where a lot of the older patrons are enjoying their drinks. And as Celius sits down at a very plush, large cushioned sofa, gestures to the seats around you.
As we're making our way towards the seats and through the bar, I'll whisper to Niles, "Do you see any more of those prying eyes like in the clouds?"
That's a good point. Niles will have a bit of a scan around the area and see if there's any prying eyes.
Absolutely. Perception or investigation check, your choice.
Could I help him by, I don't know, seeing if I can, using like the new tattoo, like sort of just keeping an ear out for like overhearing other people's conversations, like.
I'll get you to do a different roll, because if you're sort of trying to overhear versus looking, do you want to make me a perception check with advantage, because you're using your audible tattoo, just to hear out and listen as you look through, see what sort of snippets of conversation you catch as you pass through the group?
I'm just going to do a straight perception check.
Yep.
Which I'm just going to roll on.
Oh, dang.
Oh,
hell yeah.
16 and a 20. We'll take the 20. Unnatural, but still fucking excellent.
20?
Take a dirty 20.
We both rolled dirty 20s. There you go.
Both rolled dirty 20s. Very, very nice.
Yeah.
Oh, Matt, if you jump into features and traits and then jump back into your character sheet, it should then link up with roll 20 again.
I don't have roll 20.
Oh, don't even worry then. Oh, because you're on your work laptop, right?
Yeah.
All good. As you step inside the tavern, Niles, you begin looking around. It sounds like you're kind of specifically looking for any overt attention on your group that lingers longer than just simple curiosity, yeah? Like you're kind of looking for any very pointed or, I guess, more lingering observation of you and your party.
Yeah.
Specifically you and Bart.
You know when people like you catch someone looking at you and they're like staring at you and then they kind of like glance away, like the very obvious. And then not so obvious, I think if you're well versed in sort of looking for that behavior, you'll probably pick it up.
I've just realized the funny thing about Aarakocra is it's very easy to know, Aarakocra and Owlin, it's very easy to know when they're looking at you because they have to turn their whole head to...
they can't be very subtle about it.
No, that's a good point, actually. I just... to keep that in mind. Actually, and Harrengon would be quite similar because of the way the eyes are positioned on the side of the head. A lot of the time you're kind of looking around. Yeah, that's a good point. Because rabbits kind of do that a bit, don't they? When they're trying to get a bit of a lay of the land, they'll do these little like sort of rapid head movements to kind of check things out. Yeah, okay. Niles, there are a number of curious glances your way as you step in, but none of them last for too long. Most of these people here look to be students from the Unseen University. You can see there is an Aarakocra, an Owlin, sitting together with what looks like probably a fire ganassi, a flame ganassi, judging by the reddish skin and the fact that his hair is sort of permanently on fire, like a candle, basically burning through his hair as it moves. This like black hair moves in the phantom wind generated by this flame. And you can see they're talking animatedly amongst themselves. You watch as the flame ganassi, who's sitting in the very middle, he clocks you guys, sort of like doesn't really do more than a single like look. Newcomers come in, senses movement by the door, goes back to talking to his Aarakocra and Owlin friend. For context, the Aarakocra looks to be a cockatiel Aarakocra. very like whitish feathers with little like spots of color throughout. And then the owl looks to be, hard to say, very brown, sort of dusky feathers, a bit smaller than you, Niles. Maybe a burrowing owl, Owlin. And they having a lovely chat. The Aarakocra and Owlin don't look over at all. They're very focused on what's on the table. But you do catch one set of eyes that does follow you, not in the main tap room, but as you move down towards this lower section, over in the corner, flicking through a book, a pipe in one hand, this very large leather-bound tome in the other, you can see a very elderly gentleman. Looks to be, human by the looks of him, maybe in his 70s. Very, very well-groomed beard, quite short, just down to his lower neck. Long white hair, but quite a large, receding hairline, giving him a very large-looking forehead. And as you step down into the lower section, you watch as he does very, very closely keep an eye on you guys, but more so Celius, less you and Bart. His gaze seems to very much be focused on the hobgoblin Celius Grell. Lyra, natural 20. No, sorry, dirty 20. Dirty 20 as you listen out through the conversation. Oh, welcome, Raiders. Thank you very much. Rating for Ultra Pissed. Thank you very much, Ultra Pissed. Beautiful.
What a
Fucking
name.
love it. What a username.
I love it.
You must be an Australian with a username like that, right? Like, gotta be. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. We'll see who responds oi, oi, oi in the chat. We'll know that they were Aussies. Lyra, dirty 20 on your perception check, hearing specifically. Yeah, you pick up patches of conversations. You move through the crowd of students sitting in this upper part of the tap room. Many complaining about exams, some of them complaining about one of the teachers. There's all this talk about one of the professors setting them way too many reams of parchment for homework. As you pass through, it seems to be sort of general student chatter. A couple of the students talking about a really, really beautiful, a really, really hot girl they've seen in class, and then a little bit further away, a group of girls talking about a really hot girl they saw in class. They just move through these groups of people. Yeah, nothing that would be sinister, nothing that you're picking up. One conversation quickly talks about, wow, I've never seen an owlin without any wings before. And then the person next to him going, whoosh. As you walk, it's like the group walk past. It's very, very muted and hushed. There's no way Bart would hear this, but yeah, you know they're talking about Bartholomew without his wings, for sure. And then one of them, there's a conversation about, that creature on that Firbolg shoulder. It's these two very quite dorky looking sort of 30, 40-year-olds who are clearly students begin discussing whether it's a familiar or whether it's some sort of fey creature on Ember's shoulder, his Flicker, his wildfire companion. They get into a bit of a discussion.
Well, actually, if you look at the flames gathering around its lower feathers, no familiar could have that.
As they have this very quite intense discussion about what Flicker is. They're both wrong. It's a wildfire spirit, obviously. But no, nothing too sinister, nothing overtly concerning as you pass through the groups. And as you sit down together, a few moments later, as you're all sort of getting settled, you watch as the halfling bustles forwards and places down a menu on the table, strapped to a block of wood, reams of paper displaying food and drink options, nailed to the paper and sort of stapled in so that you can flick through it at your leisure.
Well,
excuse me. Switching between voices, fucking hard work sometimes.
Well, me darlings, if there's anything that you require, please feel free to give a ring on the underside of the block of wood. There's a sigil. Merely press it and call out what you'd like to order. I'll make sure it's brought out in a moment. Is there anything I can get you straight away? Do you know what you're going to get?
Well,
First time
Niles
here,
is
right?
No, Niles has been here before. Niles is thinking of the drink he had last time. I can't remember what it was. It was
Anything-
a fire.
I don't think it was the wizard's hat you came to last time, was it? Oh, was it the wizard's hat?
Sure, I think it was.
It could have been the wizard's hat. Yeah, to be fair,
It was.
It could have been.
They had the fire drinks.
Yeah, the was it
spices.
fire wine? The fire wine. Let me
Yeah.
pull it open.
Yeah.
I've got it here. Let me pull up my list of drinks.
Because I remember Threign wanted the strongest, most insane drink.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, please feel free. I'll bring some water to the table momentarily while you're having a bit of a look through the menu. And we've got a few extra pretzels. They're not stale yet, but if you want a bit of a snack, I can put them on the table for free.
be lovely. Thank you. Actually, while I've got you, I did have a fire wine here when I was last around in Oxenford.
Yes.
Get me one of those. It would be lovely.
Oh, of course. Does anyone... Celius, your usual?
Yes, that would be nice, thank you. Thank
We
you, Marsh.
usually have Celius.
Well, there's a particularly nice ale here that I quite like.
Oh.
The blend of sort of hops, malt, and citrus flavors, unparalleled.
Oh.
I might get one of them.
Well, actually, yes, I
two
might
of
change my
those?
order as well.
Oh, yes, of
Think
course
that-
we can change that. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Well, I'll be right back with those. And, dearie,
She places a hand on your shoulder, Bart.
take a moment to look through the menu when you know what you want. Press
yes,
the sigil.
thank you.
Don't be rushed by these lot. Don't have to pick the first thing. You enjoy that menu.
Perfect. With that,
Thank you.
I'll lean across. Niles, I've never drunk before.
oh yeah, yep,
Wait,
that checks out.
what? Really? You haven't had... Oh.
No, they wouldn't allow alcohol in the palace, and I was still pretty young at the time. I only recently came of age.
Oh. Oh my. This will be your first drinking experience. Wow. Hoot, hoot.
Obviously, my father didn't drink anything.
Well, I mean, you have been drinking the Kool-Aid most of your life, but does that count?
It wouldn't be good on the Z sheet to be seen consuming things that would
Imbibing.
the body not being a temple, so to speak. But
Yeah, it's way better to
am
abuse your kids
interested.
than drink. We know that, obviously.
Well, I mean, like, we didn't have alcohol in the monastery, so I guess this is much the same as what I experienced when I left. What would be a good drink for you?
Is there something blue?
Ooh.
Yes. I'd like to learn a blue drink if possible and taste it, and see if I can possibly make it for Satine on our first date.
Oh, God.
We
That's-
absolutely have blue drinks. Just so that I know, what's your kind of palate? Are you more sweet, more savory?
More savory, I feel
More
like.
savory. Okay. There's a cocktail. A cocktail's a mixture of a couple of different things. And this one's, if it's your first time... I didn't mean to overhear, dearie, but you didn't whisper that quietly. If this is your first time drinking, a cocktail's a mixture of a couple of different spirits. Have you had anything to eat today?
Yes.
Okay.
Is that
Well, look,
important?
This can hit you a bit harder if you've not had something to line your stomach. It sounds like you've got some very responsible friends with you.
She gives you a very pointed, very motherly look. That's not a question. That is a demand upon each of you to be responsible friends.
Yes. Well, we do have a drink that I can bring out for you. It's not super sweet. It's more of a lavender flavor. It's quite nice. I personally quite like it.
Lovely. Could I also get the recipe written alongside it?
This is one of the yes. I can give you the drink. I can't give you the exact ratios because it is a kind of signature drink of the establishment here, and it'd be a shame if other places began to copy it. But I can tell you what's in it, and then you're a lovely lad. I'm sure you can figure it out. It's not too complicated.
I'll pay for the recipe. It's important.
Is this? Might I ask what for?
Love.
An possible engagement?
Oh, congratulations! Do you know what? I think we can do something with that. Right, I'll be back. Just slip it in your pocket. If you happen to get a bit of an understanding of what went in it and how it was made, as long as you promise not to turn it into a commercial enterprise, I've got no questions.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Not a problem. All right, I'll be right back.
With that, you watch as she gathers her things, leaves the menu on the table in case you change your mind about food or drink, wanders back upstairs. You watch as Celius
Give you a
comes
little
onto his-
elbow.
How the fuck do you get to be your age and not have drunk anything? That's impressive.
My body is a temple.
Well, it's about time we give it a bit of a clean out then, eh?
I guess so. First for everything. Anyway, with our topic, did we want to wait until we have the drinks in our hand?
No, I think I think we can do a. It sounds like where we're headed is we're going to be doing a toast for a fallen friend. So I'm happy to hear the situation now and do the toast once our drinks arrive.
It's not my place. I didn't know him. As I'll sort of like look at the other three.
Well.
Oh, sorry, I don't know Professor Grell. Other than tonight. Yeah.
Well, I suppose there's no really easy way to say this. Who has the journal? Is it in the bag holder?
Yes, which means you would have it at the moment.
Okay. I will reach in and return Davian's journal. Yes, we were in the Underdark and uncovered a little bit of a cache. Seemed to be a location that perhaps a colleague of yours, Davian, was working in.
Oh, Davian. He always was foolhardy. Brilliant mind. Brilliant. His treatise on the Myconid movements, how their spore servants are formed, how their colonies rise and grow, was unparalleled. But he was never content with taking the easy path. What was he hunting or searching for? What was he observing when his fate befell him?
Couture, we think. He was the cave that we found was quite near a Myconid colony as well, so maybe it was just a convenient cave nearby, but
he would have spoken with the Myconids. There would have been an agreement. He was always very interested in the Myconid ways. That is,
they were studying. They were fascinated around something themselves that I think Davian stumbled into more than he'd bargained for. In realizing now, at first I was a bit flippant with it, but realizing that maybe Hadar isn't something that should just be sort of spoken out out loud, especially in the surface world. I'll write it down on a napkin with, I don't know, like a wet pinky or whatever I've got, just to like draw that for him or scratch it into the table. Does that term mean anything to you? He was studying that.
Are you sure? He was never one for investigating like primordial powers or gods or things like that. He was more interested in the Kuatoa, 100%. I'm not surprised he was investigating Kuatoa. Absolutely falls under his research grants. But this is a bit far-fetched. Are you sure this is what he was looking into?
Well, the Kuatoans had a hold over a location that was related to this thing.
We did take some copies, some etchings of the mural, I do believe.
Religion's not really my thing, which I guess this kind of falls under. Kuatoans, remind me, they have this thing, like a psychosphere, the mind-linky thing with stuff that they believe. Yeah.
Flashback to Venom and Shadaradak quickly. But yes, that happened actually.
Oh yeah. Look again. Excuse me. Not my area of expertise, to be sure.
To just correct you though, from what we've found alongside Davian's studies, it's history, not religion.
Well, that would be a bit more under his purview. A lot of his research was focused around the natural history of things and understanding the movements of certain groups, certain species, peoples throughout different areas, specifically the Underdark. One of his papers that's published, found in the Unseen University Archive, focuses on the eternal struggle between the Drow and the Duergar. He was very interested in the power struggles that have occurred and the history of these two peoples fighting for dominance. And, I mean, he was interested in the politics of the Lothsworn and Darmirian Drow, so, I mean, that doesn't surprise me. If he was looking into the history of the Kuatoa, that could be I would believe that he would be interested in that. This avenue of investigation might have led him there. But he wouldn't have gone there searching for this. This would have been something he discovered along the way. He would have been there for the Kuatoa for sure. Or something else. Could be.
It's a terrifying thought.
Well,
Indeed.
I mean, sometimes the way research works leads you in directions you weren't prepared for.
I don't mean to step over any boundaries, but just for the peace of his own soul, some of the notes mentioned a tiff between yourself and him, and...
Yes. We were... Yeah. As I said to you a lot when you first came checking in, I have my differences with the Society of Brilliance. We were friends. Rivals, friends. It's a fine line sometimes. I disagreed with some of his methods, and I cared for him, and so I told him. And he pushed back, and I cared for him, and so I pushed back. And that is the dance we played. It was a tiff, but it was one of many. We would have got past it, same as the others. I'm very sad to hear of his passing. He was a colleague and a friend.
A rival, so you mean that you also expert or specialize in history of the world?
We were both applying for the same position at the university. Under dark fauna and flora. Now, I'll be honest, flora's more my speciality, fauna's more him. I got the position, I got tenure, he did not.
Okay.
We were rivals in that sense.
We did stumble across the Society Tower, the one that in the Underdark as well.
Oh, they still hold up in that old tower, the inverted one made out of a stalactite. Tight. Fuck.
For the first time.
As I said, look, geology, not my area of speciality. Fucking rocks. Seriously, how could you devote an entire subset of study to rocks?
There were some there that were very interested in it.
Oh, geologists. Ugh.
Was it Tetark was the geologist?
Oh, Tetark. I didn't realize he was back with the tower. Last I checked in with Tetark. Hey, look, Tetark, good egg. I like Tetark. I respect Tetark. Brilliant mind, keen intellect. He is a geologist I respect. And that's saying something.
They have, yes. Tetark, Sylvie, and Albus.
Albus, yes. Albus is an interesting one. I'll be honest. I could never get past the tentacles.
Yes, that was a bit confronting at first, but he's not a bad fellow, actually.
No, as I said,
quite nice.
Seems a lovely guy, but occasionally, just having him in your head at all times makes a man uncomfortable.
Not unlike the Myconids.
Well, the Myconids you have to consciously project.
Oh, that is a good point.
Albus is a mindful. It means he's always reading your surface thoughts and deeper. It's not just telepathy, it's proper mind reading. It's different.
Because I never really thought of it that way. But yes,
Sylvie's hilarious. I love Sylvie, she's great. Very funny.
Oh, yes.
Very funny.
Quite the character, actually.
Yeah. Oh, she's very funny.
I'm guessing you'd be close with her specialty in botany.
Exactly. See? Get along very well. Although Sylvie has a subset interest. I mean, some would say bordering on obsession of poisons and toxins in the natural world. I think it is a level of interest that borders upon the unhealthy. Honestly.
Oh. She killed one of her friends who was ailing by poisoning them.
Yeah, that'd be Sylvie for sure.
Sylvie was also the one that gave Ember here that poisonous plant, I think. We used it against a bit here. It's quite impressive.
Yeah, if Sylvie gave you poison, it worked. I promise you that. Whatever she tells you it does, and possibly more. If anything, she downplays some of the side effects, shall we say. But she's damn good. She knows her shit, for sure.
Yeah.
I offered her a position up here, actually, with me as a associate, but she refused. Not uncommon. She's very loyal to the society, and she's got a very blossoming career with them.
It's gotta be hard though being stuck down there.
Well, they travel a bit. The Society of Brilliance. They're not always in the same location. They've got a couple of different places dotted around, little outposts and things like that.
Specifically in the Underdark or above ground?
Mostly in the Underdark. They tend to focus a lot of Not that they researched there, but there are outposts, a couple of places. Balmia, there's one with the dwarves in Balmia. That's underground. Not in the Underdark, but in Balmia. I know they've got 2 in Chiari with the Dragonborn. There's one there excavating. Well, I probably shouldn't talk about that one, actually. Yeah, but there's 2 in Chiari, and I know there's one up north as well. Somewhere up near Mostorm, I think, north of Oshia. Near Northgard.
Well, we don't often get to speak to learned individuals. Do you know anything yourself about? I'll tap on the word of Harrengon.
I like that we had a moment of Bart's audio and camera slurring ever so slightly because of the lag, which almost was perfectly timed with the drinks being served. I did hear what you said, but it was very funny that it kind of like, but as I was about to say, the drinks are served and you take your first sip. As you're asking this question, drinks are placed out on the table around you. Very quickly, you watch as Marge gives you a polite nod and ducks away really quickly, seeing that you're in the middle of a quite serious conversation. As you tap the word again, he goes,
I mean, I can tell you a little bit, but it's not going to be anything deep. From what I understand, stories came through from passed down through generations from a number of the elves and dwarves specifically. Elves and dwarves have a lot of information passed down from when they first arrived on Nostea about the hunger. Speak of it as if it was a destructive force, not just a god or a demon, more like a force, something more primordial. I know one of my colleagues who researches these kinds of things has put it under the banner of a fundamental force, a force of destruction and consumption. If that's any help. I know that gnolls look up to this thing sometimes. There's been rumors that with the betrayer gods sealed away, some gnolls seeking to return to their roots, no longer called out to Yhongu, but instead called out to a far hungrier power. I don't think it went anywhere.
Who is this colleague of yours?
Oh, no, she's wonderful. Just at the university. Sarin. She's very good.
Okay. Thank you.
No, that's fine. I can introduce you if you wanted to meet her. She, where would she be right now? I've got no fucking idea. I'll be honest, I only see her in daylight hours. We should really go out for a drink sometime.
We might try to see her at daylight hours as well. For now, though, thank you all for helping me enjoy this the first destruction of my liver.
Let's see. So as you take a sip of your ales, Lyra, Niles, I'm going to assume Ember has the same. Ember would get an ale as well. I assume Ember has the ale as well. Celius did not undersell this. It is a very quite a medium-bodied ale, quite a nice sort of citrus start, and then a little bit of that malty sweetness, a little bit of the bitter hops to kind of balance it out. Very sort of smooth, almost a bit of a Weiss beer finish, this kind of like smooth, silky finish. But your blue drink is served in a large conical glass with a little umbrella in the top and a large straw coming out the side. And as it's placed down in front of you, you watch as Marge lights a little sparkler and ducks away really quickly, leaving the sparkler going as you're having this very intense conversation about Hadar.
Wow.
It is swirling almost like this ocean blue with swirls of aqua through it and glitter following these lines of moving
that's
liquid.
cool.
As you have a sip, Bart. Yeah, it's actually, it's more visually striking than it is taste-wise. It's a very sort of subtle lavender flavor, notes of kind of like rose as well, but not overly sweet, quite smooth, hint of sweetness for sure, but more of a kind of citrusy, citrus lavender rose kind of flavor. It's quite nice. What would it be most similar to? Maybe like the sweetness of a plum. So not super sweet, but like, yeah.
Well, as long as it tastes nice, I'm not going to know how to ration myself and probably like drink like a, I don't know, like a quarter of it.
Yeah, for sure. I would love a Constitution saving throw, Bart, if that's okay.
That's great.
Oh, perfect. So I got a +6 in it, but I rolled a 2.
Wow.
That's an 8 total. But man, this drink is good. It's crazy. You were worried about stuff before, but you kind of feel that kind of melting away. You're hanging out with your friends. You're back in Oxenfurt. You feel good. The tips of your fingers with your feathers are buzzing a little bit, but like it feels good buzzing. And there's like a warmth kind of blushing in your cheeks. You feel good.
When
move
people
your head a bit, feels light.
I don't know if anyone else does this, but I'm on like very drunk. I'll like subtly grind my teeth against each other.
You're a bird.
No, but that's what I'm thinking. This is what I do, real life.
Oh, okay.
I'll subtly, like grind my teeth. So I'm gonna say.
I was like, I'm gonna need to update Bart's character art if he's got teeth, because fuck me, that's gonna be. I don't want to do that.
Oh, that's a terrifying thought.
Bart is like just loud enough for those sitting beside him, like just tapping his beak like open and close over and over and over.
Nice. Perfect. And as you enjoy your drink, let's jump over with Harry and Inkspren. Harry, as you make your way up from the docks with Inkspren in tow, there is a little bit of water still kind of dripping off from her form, bleeding through the edges of part of the suit, where she's put it back on in the water and it's slowly sort of leaking seawater as it moves along, as it kind of settles into place and seals in a lot of the moisture from the ocean. As she follows along behind you, moving with you, she's silent at first, unless you engage her in conversation.
Sorry, the dog came into the room.
No, you're good. I figured that's what it was. Must be having loads of fun. This is how you know. This is how you know the pups being chaotic is when you just see Dave looking around frantically trying to locate.
Puppy?
It's like, what's she getting into?
Hello, little cheeky platypus. She does look like a platypus with her little black bill.
Wow, she's so cute.
Look at those eyes. How could you be cross at those eyes?
Impossible.
Yeah.
Get away with murder.
A second later, Dave's computer is going to go black as she chews through the power cord. She's going to see Dave be like, wait, no! And then that's it. She's gone.
That's great.
That'd be pretty funny. Is that what we're ruling Figment looks like whenever you see Harry summon his patron Figment? Yes. We know Figment's got kind of like the creepy mask thing going on. Not today.
Puppy dog in a mask?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Go on.
No, all good. Would you be engaging Inkspren in conversation, or would you be just sort of leading her through the streets towards the night hall? Oh, you were going to grab a bite to eat, weren't you? You were going to get something to eat.
Yeah. Harry's on the look for. He's on the hunt for carrots.
On the hunt for carrots specifically. Okay.
Carrots specifically, fresh carrots. The markets are closed, but that's what he's looking for.
Not fully. They're still open. The markets around the docks go until late at night, because I mean you got to remember ships come in at all hours of the day. There's places to go looking for food for sure. As you begin sort of like taking a bit of a stride, charging ahead, Inkspren following along behind, every so often you kind of hear her sort of say something to herself like, "Oh wow, no, this was here." She kind of looks around at various things on display at the markets.
Oh, you don't come out very often?
No, I do not come out very often. I find the sights, smells, and sounds of the city overwhelming sometimes. There are so many people. It is a lot. I'm used to quiet, calm.
If it's a bit busy here, we can take a less crowded route to the.
It's okay. I need to spend a bit more time out and about. I need to get more used to this. I have been starving myself by staying inside. Look at this. There's so much to see.
She looks around.
Any food here that you like to have as a bit of a dessert? Because I know you just ate earlier, but
dessert? I do not know. What is dessert?
Oh, it's like a sweet meal that you have after your dinner. So like you had some fish, but with like, what's a little treat that you can have after that?
I do not know. I have not had dessert before.
Can you eat cream and dairy? Is that something that your body can metabolize?
I think so. I should be able to break down most organic matter into a form that can sustain me.
Oh yeah, let's go buy some ice cream.
Perfect. I love that Harry's taking out the strange, like, sea an enemy, bipedal sea an enemy out for ice cream. It's fucking perfect.
It's so funny.
Yeah. We'll save it. As Harry, as you lead her through the market stalls, sure enough, there is indeed a small stall selling iced creams. There is a very large metal container on top of a cart with legs. You can see two very bright blue sapphires underneath in these cages of what looks like electrum and silver, chilling the air around it. You can see steam rising off the side of these as they basically transfer heat away from this cart, chilling the product inside. And as you get closer, you can see a younger human man, probably in his like mid-teens, pimples on his face, bit of a moustache across his lip as well, looking around sort of like very, very bored, very disengaged, and like making no effort to attract people to the cart. When someone comes over and asks about a flavor, you watch as he kind of looks inside. Oh, yeah, we got one of those. Yep. And then gets them a scoop and hands it over. But he, like, no pride in his work. He's got no fucking clue what he's doing.
Harry would like to look for a different ice cream store. If it's her first time enjoying ice cream, he wants quality. He knows a merchant when he sees one.
For sure. You know, in that case, then Harry, that it's not going to be anywhere near this guy. If you're an ice cream seller, you don't want to be associating with this teen garbage. You make your way over towards the outer section of the market, over towards the stalls that are more permanent, as well as the actual shop fronts that are built into the side of the first row of houses that begin to make their way sort of rising up from the busy streets. Sure enough, not a specific ice cream parlor, but what looks like a cafe set up with many, many different items on display does indeed have a person sitting out the front. You can see a young girl with her mother, both half-elves, look to be half a wood elf by the coppery skin tones. You can see this young girl, maybe like 6 or 7, licking at an ice cream, and then her mum goes, yeah, no, that's great. And then you watch the girl goes, hum, and takes a big bite. The mum goes, no. And then you see the girl go, no. She starts clutching at her head.
So Eastman, that's what you don't do. You don't eat the ice cream full. You kind of like slowly enjoy it because it's so cold.
That will not be a problem. I am unable to masticate.
Yeah, look, I don't know what that means, but sure thing.
I have no teeth or mouth, as like you do. It is different.
Oh, so you're just kind of like absorb it in from... Do you have a preferred place to absorb it in from?
Yes.
Cool. Okay. Well, yeah, that's good then. Yeah. Let's approach the ice cream place.
As you make your way over, we've had an advantage given to Bart. Bart, you may mark down you have an audience advantage from Dragon, from our Avatar
like
Legends stream.
The owl man.
I'll need that. Dragon. You survived the drunken night.
We've got two owls. How come you're preferencing the white owl, Dragon? What's going on there, huh? Yeah, what's up with that, huh?
Well, political
man, it's so easy to just throw shade at someone for the most lovely innocuous action. Now I've just made her look like an absolute piece of shit.
I mean, Bart does look pretty funky, to be fair.
That's fair.
In that
room. Harry, as you walk inside the cafe, you can indeed see a very bustling, busy business. One that looks like it is properly run. You can see a number of patrons inside. Enjoy it. There you go. You've been given advantage, Niles, and I've been told to fuck myself. Checks out.
The correct answer.
You're welcome.
Perfect.
There you go, Matt. You owe me. I had to look what I have to endure. I have to endure abuse to get you the advantage. It was worth it though. It was worth it.
That's what happens when Rowan literally real life rolls in that one persuasion.
You reckon that was a nat 1 persuasion? I got Matt the advantage. That was perfect.
He did.
Yeah, but
It did work.
I'm happy to throw myself on a blade for my friends. It's not a problem. Especially if that blade is the words "fuck you." It's very minimal. Like, if anything, I quite enjoyed it. It doesn't hurt me. It's not a problem. Yeah, Harry, you head inside your beautifully well-maintained shop. Many patrons sitting around eating what looks like mostly desserts. You recognize a few favorites. You can see waffles are currently being consumed. Many different flavors and styles. Even what looks like a green waffle. No idea what the story is there. Some sort of like weird trend for sure. Number of patrons enjoying what looks like ice cream stacked into a glass with like cream and stuff around it, and like this weird sort of like transparent jelly-like substance. Yeah, weird stuff. I've been given disadvantage. You realize that I can't have. It's an NPC. I'll apply this to. Sure.
Yeah, one of the enemies, right?
You.
It's for me personally. I have
You
to.
personally.
I'll have to see what that's about. I guess I'll give myself disadvantage on something. Yeah, maybe some sort of parfait, Harry, as you see this like weird jelly-like substance. And the menu itself is very cleverly laid out. A lot of them seem to reference monsters. You can get yourself a gelatinous parfait, and it seems to be modeled after like a gelatinous cube. You can see that there is a special on the Beholder ice cream. It's 2 large chunks of ice cream with lots of like little sweets arranged around it, forming like the ice stalks and things like that. This is definitely like a themed shop. Themed cafe for sweets.
So sick.
They're the 2 I came up with on the top of my head. I'll have some more for you in a minute once I've had a bit of a chance to let my subconscious tick away on the menu. I'll get back to you when I've thought of some more. Yeah, there's one of the waffles is shaped like a dragon. Like, it's awesome.
Is there anything here that piques your fancy, or?
You said the ice cream was nice. I will have 1 ice cream.
Yeah. I think they have a few flavors. Is there a flavors menu, or is there?
It's on display. You can see what looks like a glass case with loads of different ice creams in tubs along the side counter.
Do you like fruit, Inksprint, or do you like? Have you had fruit before?
Yes, I like fruit. Yes, apples. I like apples.
Excuse me. Do you have any apple flavored ice creams here?
You watch as a white dragonborn comes out from behind a little hidden sort of like alcove, curtain hanging down to hide it from view. And as the white dragonborn strides out, looks over, they go,
Yes, we have a special on apple sorbet.
As frost begins to coalesce around their jaw.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. No, we'll have one of those. And do you have any
Cup
carrot flavors?
or cone?
Oh, cone, definitely cone.
And what else would you like?
Do you have any carrot flavored ice creams?
Carrot?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
We have carrot cake flavored ice cream, but not carrot flavored ice cream.
Oh, no, it's not the same thing. It's really not.
It's not the same thing. I knew Dave would say this. It's so easy to fucking fish Dave. I know exactly what he's going to say. It's so easy.
Well, could I order a do you have mango ice cream?
Yes, we do have a mango sorbet.
I'll have a mango sorbet in a cone as well. And can you whip me up a carrot juice from the back there in the cafe, or?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. You want anything else, Inkspring?
No, that is fine. Thank you. The ice cream will be sufficient.
It's her first time. She's super excited. You think we could get like a chocolate stick in there as well?
If it's her first time having ice cream, I have a suitable tradition in mind.
Oh yeah, what's that? I'd like to check just before you do it, before agreeing.
The surprise is part of the tradition. I am told that the surprise brings much joy.
Okay, yeah, I'm sold. Okay, done.
That was easy. You watch as the Dragonborn grabs out a scoop, scoops out a single scoop of the mango sorbet, single scoop of the what was the flavor for Ingsprin? Sorry, it was an apple sorbet.
Apple, yeah.
Puts the scoops on, hands them over, and then as the two of you take the ice creams, you watch as the maw opens and this blast of cold goes across both of you. Crystals of ice grow up and around the edge of the top of the ice cream. Little fractions of like cold, these little like spiraling snowflakes move down across your arm, freezing in your fur, Harry, as the Dragonborn breathes out this blast of ice breath across the two ice creams. Your hair's kind of blown back and frozen partly in position. You watch as Inkspren kind of goes, oh my. So he gets like the still like liquid water on the outside of her leather suit freezes, creating this little crust of frost all over her leather suit, all over the outside of this like containment suit. The Dragonborn goes, thank you for your ice cream.
Yeah, it seems a bit unsanitary, but well, yeah, that's not a problem. We'll take it. How much was it?
Would you like your juice chilled?
Can you put some ice in it instead of breathing in it? Is that an option?
I have no ice. Why do you think I was hired for this place?
Okay, no, just as is. It's fine. Ambient. We'll take
Warm
ambient.
carrot juice. As if you'd have it warm.
Yeah, it's fair. I'll just have it.
The Dragonborn stomps back, 6.5 feet tall, stomps back behind. You hear the sound of like something being smashed, this heavy repeated like crushing sound as something is hammered very loudly. And then there's this of ice. You see this like frost curl up from underneath the curtain. And then you watch as the Dragonborn comes back out with a wooden cup with a layer of ice frozen across the top and a little straw sticking out. The hollow clink places it down in front of you.
For the 2 ice creams and 1 carrot juice, that will be 1 silver and 2 copper pieces.
Oh, cool. Here you go. Thanks for that. Have a good night.
Have a nice night.
Yeah, stay frosty. Harry leaves.
I
hate it.
And then he stomps back behind the curtain again.
Yeah, that guy had no chill. I can't believe you put ice in my drink, even though I didn't want it. Yeah, no, try this, Inkspren.
It is rather public here. I would rather remove my headdress when we are somewhere a bit more private.
Oh yeah, no, he breathed on it anyway, so it'll stay frozen for a bit longer. So yeah, we have time.
Okay, that would be good. Yeah, somewhere a bit more private.
Harry and Inkspren go somewhere a bit more private.
Where is that?
Is there like an alleyway? Is there?
This is what happens when Dave's left up to his own devices. Is there a cheap motel? Are you gonna make me roleplay this with you? He's gone. He's gone. He needs a moment. He's got a bit excited. Dave's got a bit excited. He's gonna take a moment. He just needs a little bit to chill. I thought I'd try and cool everything down. Oh, he's back. That was quick. Sorry. As you make your way back outside, in terms of like quiet, private places, an alley's not the best idea in Oxenfurt. Harry, you would know this is a member of the Thieves Guild. Just sort of 2 people chilling in an alley by themselves. Not a great idea. If you did want to find somewhere that's a bit less public,
like
a bit
behind
safer.
a stall, or public.
There's a number of parks throughout the city. Most of them are quite
that sounds
well lit.
lovely.
Yeah, a bit nicer. As you make your way back up towards the Night Hall, you pass by the Lower Dock Park, this sort of half-moon crescent that goes around the top of a number of the buildings. It's quite a large park, a few pathways running through it, and you can see that at this time of night it's not super busy. There's a couple of places where ornamental trees provide a bit of shade and a bit of cover away from prying eyes. And as you sort of arrive at this location, you watch as Inkspren reaches up, pulls on either side of the headdress, pulling it open, revealing that same very alien aquatic face. The 2 sets of eyes, the 4 eyes on either side, the lack of mouth, nose over the jaw. And then you watch as the tendrils of tentacles that sort of move and flow around, pulsing with this bioluminescence. You watch as they rise up, and she slowly passes the ice cream up to them as the tentacles grab it and pull it up and underneath and hide it away from view as it disappears sort of behind her head.
Just for my own visual
Yes.
of this, is Inkspirit still like somewhat humanoid aside from like...
Yeah, humanoid.
Yeah.
So far you've only seen her hands, which are very webbed, and her face and head. So imagine like a very humanoid face, a little bit more elongated than a normal person's, maybe a bit more elongated than like a human's. A bit more like the Eladrin, how they've got those sort of slightly more angular, elongated faces. No visible ears on the side, just this mane of tentacles that run all the way from the top of the head all the way down the back, almost like anemone tentacles, quite large, quite thick, and seemingly able to stretch, grow, and pull back at a whim, very much under her control.
Right.
Yeah, partially transparent, this sort of soft blue color, pulsing with bioluminescent light. Imagine like a Medusa, an anemone Medusa is the best way to kind of think of it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm imagining.
Yeah, an anemone Medusa. Yeah. I'm happy to share her race of people are called the Snidari, which is the scientific name for jellyfish and anemones.
That's cool.
Yeah, which will be a playable character race species for you guys heading forwards if you wish.
Fuck yeah.
Why not?
Wow.
DC, are you saying that the type of character that Inksprin is a playable character in the future?
Yes.
Yeah, well, Harry switches now.
I've got to get a bit of better practice at drawing the tentacles, and then we're good to go. Because I've done a few. I was like, oh, it'd be really fun to draw that, and then I've had a few goes. And it's not very good yet. I'll get better.
Yeah. I can imagine it's a very fine line between good and inappropriate. Yeah, okay.
Yes, it's yeah. If you're laughing, you know why. It's not the easiest. Because like they're not like jellyfish tentacles. They're quite thick, like sausages. Yeah, it's I just ended up drawing bratwurst. It's very hard to come back from that. God, Ali, gotta easy.
Harry makes every effort not to draw attention to it and not to stare. Yeah. How'd you like it? Was it good?
I am still eating it. I will taste it over the next hour or so.
Oh yeah. Well, when you have an opinion, let me know. Meanwhile, Harry's double parking his mango ice cream and his carrot juice.
He's switching between a sip of carrot juice and then a hit of the mango.
I mean, not one for one, but he's enjoying the mango for a bit until it's like not melting into hydrate, because ice cream and sorbets can be a bit dehydrating, and he needs the carrot juice for.
It's just the sweetness of the mango. Like one of the main features of carrot that makes it enjoyable is its sweetness. When that sweetness is being somewhat downplayed by the sweetness of mango. Have you ever had carrot with something sweet before?
Yeah, no, this is a fair point. It's just nothing. Okay, well, Harry does what Harry does, and he's just enjoying them both.
Fantastic, perfect.
Yeah.
As you spend the next sort of 20 minutes enjoying your drinks and then drink ice cream and looking around for cheap motels without much success, as you make your way back out of the park and towards the night hall, let's jump back with the rest of the gang. as you in the middle of sort of chatting, Bart, you asked Celius if he knew, Professor Grell, if he knew anything more about Hadar. He's directed you towards one of his colleagues instead. I think that's where we left off, wasn't it? And you were enjoying your drink, getting a bit drunk.
Yes.
Just saying that, I saw in your comment, you sort of mentioned that Bart might be aiming for a second. Lyra, I think, will be trying to sort of step in and be like, no, we're not ordering a second one.
But as you get to the bottom of your drink and you're like, oh, I need another. This is great. It's the best drink you've ever had.
I would like to attempt a stealth check with my disadvantage to get to the bar.
How do you... I mean, you're pretty tall. You're the tallest person at this group right now, apart from Celius Grell. Let's have that stealth check with disadvantage, please.
It's with disadvantage.
I'm gonna, Lyra. Is that Titania over there? Go to the bar.
Can I just, using the blinking tattoo, can I just sort of request a mental link with and just sort of be like, hey, sorry, this is the group from Professor Grell's table. I think we already need to cut off Bart. He's
had too much.
It was a 17 with disadvantage.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Holy shit.
What the hell?
Yikes. As you begin...
You're setting up that connection, I'm already standing at the bar.
You watch as you step before the bar, you watch as Marge, the halfling, sort of smiles and goes, would you like another? Did you like it? Did I pick well for you?
You picked very well. I haven't felt this good in a long time. I'm loosening up.
And then you watch as she kind of pauses for a second and like puts her hand to her temple and goes like, what? Hello?
Do you need a Nurofen?
Hello? Someone was speak. She paused for a moment. You hear back in your mind, how are you doing this? Why, you're in my mind. This is a breach. This is not very polite, dearie. You can't just barge into someone's mind.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was trying to do the whole be a good friend thing and stop him from ordering, but he's trying to be sneaky about it.
Oh, he's right here in front of me, dearie.
Yeah.
You hear this part.
Oh,
She
my
says
bad.
this out loud and in her head.
He's right here in front of me, dearie.
Snap my head back at Lyra.
You rotate your whole head without doing your body because you're an owl. So.
I'll then turn back to her. I'll pay you double.
It's a bad connection, sweet. Breaking up. I'll meet you back at the table. Bring it over.
I've got 2 for 2 hands, so 2 drinks.
Your friend was worried, given this be your first time drinking, that perhaps you should go a wee bit slower. I'm happy to give you 1 more. Worst thing that can happen is you'll wake up with a headache. 2 more and I might not be able to get you out of here. You're a big boy, but I don't think I can carry you by my lonesome.
If I don't have any more drinks, though, how am I going to enjoy the festivities of this amazing bar?
Here's the thing. You may not be used to alcohol. You feel good now. But if you go beyond a certain threshold, you're going to stop feeling great, start feeling pretty rotten. And in the morning, you're going to be cursing my name. I don't need that on my conscience.
Okay.
Trust me, I can give you 1 more, but that's enough.
You're a businesswoman?
Aye, but I'm also a responsible mother.
I understand that, but a bustling night would be nice, and I could perform some hidden theocracy dancing in the middle of this tavern. That would
None of your smotting here.
No, she doesn't say that. To be fair, hidden theocracy dancing doesn't sound great. If you hear that back, it sounds culty. It doesn't. It sounds like the sort of thing Epstein would say. I can show you some hidden theocracy dancing.
The Zishi's ballet is something to behold. Mighty fine knights and coin made.
You make a valid point.
Cost of 1 drink.
Okay, you make a valid point, dearie. But here's the thing: this dance. I'm guessing it requires a lot of focus and concentration. A lot of dexterous maneuvering that's taken a lifetime to perfect and master.
I'm not that dexterous. I use heart.
Oh, I am though.
You're not even
you want 1 too, Niles?
I'm
so sorry, Lyra. It looks like you're the only responsible adult here.
Boy, have a drink.
I'll grab 3. Welcome, Niles, as well. Lovely. Thank you so much. I'm going to put it like to slap her shoulder and then turn and start walking to the table.
You hear... Do you speak halfling?
No.
Ah, cool. You hear Risco under her breath. You don't know what that means, but you don't think it's polite.
The one time I know halfling.
Sorry, mate. I will, for Niles' benefit, it's a halfling curse for a very cheeky boy.
Yeah, gotcha.
Halfling insults and curses are not. They're very like Midwestern housewife. Like poot, darn. Like it's not hardcore swearing in Halfling. Like the most hardcore swear word is like the equivalent of like crap. And it's literally just the word for manure. It's like very specific. As you head back over, Bart, sit back down. Lyra, you see Bart. I mean, as he sort of weaves his way through the crowd a bit, he's like bumps into a table, sort of spins around, apologizes, then wanders back over. He's not looking the best. He's looking pretty drunk.
Look, I've always had a 0 dexterity, but a 7 performance. My dance will still be amazing.
Well, you're going to be you're drunk though. You rolled. What was your con save again?
8.
Yeah, I'm drunk, but even with disadvantage, I still have a good feeling. I got that inspiration from chapter 4.
Okay.
But I'll make my way back to the table first and to everyone else.
As you sit back down, as Bart makes his way back over, you watch Cecilius goes,
well, he's not going to remember this in the morning, I suspect.
Look, it's his first time.
Exactly. Do you remember your first time drinking? I sure don't.
It was far too long ago.
I was much the same as him. Left the monastery, went to the first pub that I found, and that was it.
Got shit-beaked.
Actually, yeah. I think you would notice as I'm making my way back to the table, bumping into the table, for however it looks on an Owlin. I've been thankful. I've been supportive while in the Underdark, but this is probably the first time that I'm like cheerful and happy, and maybe even smiling. Shoulders back, relaxed, not in a tense sort of. Like with my inspiring leader, it's always been premeditated planning. We need to do this, then this, then this. There's just no worries. Maybe
you've been very like, gotta do this thing. Yeah.
It's a Bartholomew from maybe like a decade ago.
We're going to have to really play up how hungover you are, just so that we don't provide unhealthy like attitudes towards drinking. I don't promote unhealthy attitudes towards drinking, which is hilarious coming from an Australian.
Yeah. Drinking culture.
You're literally watching me consume alcohol during this session. Like I feel like I'm good. It's quite funny when as an Australian goes like, yeah, you got to be a bit careful, mate, with you. Can't get too much of a piss on. Come on, we've got to sort this out.
Drinking is
Can't solve all
really
your
bad, guys. Don't do it.
Yeah, stay true blue, mate. True blue, 2 drinks per hour. Then you're good. That's the right amount. As you stumble back over and sit down in your body, he watches Celius, kind of nods and laughs a bit and goes,
well, you lot have fun. I might make my way back. Sorry.
We were in the Underdark for quite a while. We haven't had a chance really to. Obviously, you're pretty well versed with university affairs. What's news on campus? And more broadly speaking, what's news with Oxenfurt in general?
Well, Oxenfurt is much the same. There's been some talk of trouble up towards the north. A few reports have come into the city of some volcanic activity, a chain of islands up towards the north. The Hill Giants, there's been some spat between them. Pretty far from here, though. It sounds like most of that's been taking place down south near the elemental states. The Ganassi have had a rough time of things. Outside world seems like things are... Chaos of the Giants coming back is carrying on. In terms of the university, we've just opened up a new series of scholarships to students who might not be able to afford the tuition fees. I was on the board of advisors for that.
That's so sad.
Another AC student. Yes, it is. Education shouldn't be denied to people because they can't bloody afford it. Bullshit. I wouldn't be in university if it weren't for the outreach programs. I would have missed out. Never would have got an education in magic.
You're being ripped off. What do you mean you have to pay for your education?
Part of it, yeah.
It's such a scam.
Lyra, you've been given advantage. However, I am tempted to ban this as an advantage, given who has granted it to you. This feels like collusion. I don't think... Can your significant other pop in and deliver you advantage? That does seem a bit... I know that username. Brandon. I'm watching you. No, Brandon's been keeping the Avatar stream. Weirdly, I can't believe I'm saying this, keeping it on track. So no, I'm lying. That's not true. But you may enjoy that advantage from Bran. That's allowed.
Yeah.
Take it.
Well, I don't know how it is with the heiress. I wasn't aware that I mean, look, they don't accept visiting scholars. Let me put it that way. So I wouldn't be able to.
I don't know about you, Niles. I never had to pay to study.
Well, no, I didn't have to either. It's kind of just born into it, I guess.
Well, it's not quite how it works here at Oxenford. I can say that.
You're a nice chap here, and I'm gonna pull out the Seltzer lantern. You like plants and shit, right?
The Sousa lantern. Oh, the Seltzer lantern. Like the moss that's in the. I thought for a second you were pulling out Ember's Sousa thing. I was like, I don't think Ember's okay with that. The Seltzer lantern.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, a seltzer lantern. I haven't seen one of these in years. Wonderful bioluminescence from these. Are you sure? Look, I'll gladly take it. These things burn for years.
Unless I'm going to have some sushi, alive. I don't need it. You're fine.
Well, thank you. I should say as well, this seltzer, he watches, he slowly undoes the lid and sniffs. It's getting a bit old, actually. We'll probably need to change this soon. Do you have the recipe? I do. I know how to change it, but I'm just wondering if you do.
Go crazy. I don't know it. But yeah, a parting gift.
Thank you. It's very kind. I'll find a place for this on the shelf and maybe with the journal as well. And keep these together.
I'll lean awkwardly close. Now that we're good friends, what's happening with that excavation in Belmere?
Well, I'm not supposed to talk about it, but the Society of Brilliance have stumbled across an old dragon site there.
Oh,
artifacts and architecture from their arrival, and a lot of it is focused around Bahamut and Tiamat. A lot of iconography. It's how we know it's pre-ruin, which is weird because the dragon should know about this.
Dragon site. It's not the same site where the aforementioned dragon tried to come back, is it?
I thought Tiamat tried to push her way through in Palin.
Wasn't there something in Balmia that we were trying to stop?
Chiari. There was the...
I've got them mixed up. Yeah. Never mind. Sorry.
Yes, it's not too far from Velox north, out in the Badlands.
Are you working with the Historical Society on this? Or?
I don't think the Historical Society know about it. This seems to be a Society of Brilliance only. Because of my association with them, I was asked to consult on some of the plant life, flora growing around, to give some recommendations. There were some caves underneath. They wanted to know whether the plants could have survived there for as long as they did without nutrients and things like that, and I provided some expert advice.
Anything unusual about the flora there, or did you found?
No. It's all very standard cave flora, mosses, lichens, things like that. Nothing out of the ordinary. But I was able to say that it had most likely been sealed without exposure to the outside air based on the growth of some of the lichens for a couple of 100 years at least.
Shit?
Shit indeed. That is what most of the plants were feeding off of. There was a whole ecosystem down there, insects living and dying in the dark. A little microcosm, we call it, but aspect of the ecosystem gets sealed off. He watches, he just trails off, realizing as like Dream's eyes slowly cross. It's not quite sinking in. How can an Owlin? It's just this glazed look as like Dream's head slowly starts to tip back. This is the Owlin equivalent of going cross-eyed.
Well, if the Society of Brilliance get in over their head for whatever reason, do let the Tempest Guild make them aware. I'm sure we can assist.
Look, I can. If you can survive what happened in the Underdark, and your guild, I believe your guild has a relationship with the dragons of Chiari, does it not? I believe there was.
Doesn't help though, Niles. I'm not good with plants.
No, I'm best her.
I meant more the dragon side of things.
I don't know dragons either.
Well, I'm just saying we do have members in the guild that are familiar with dragons, so it could be good.
If if you do have members of your guild who have a bit of a relationship with the Dragons of Chiari, could I ask a favor? Could you send someone to check on them? Just in case. It's the Society of Brilliance. You said if they get over their head. Society of Brilliance are permanently in over their heads. This is an organization of people who don't fit in with mainstream study, shall we say.
I look down at the journal and I go, yes. That would be good. Well, we are meeting at the guild hall soon. So we can certainly let Mira know.
And if I can, I'll just sort of get the sort of as much exact location information from him as I can, just so that I can pass something on. It's like, rather than saying, oh, we think it might be around here-ish. Like...
You have a map, don't you? You would have a map of... You would have a map. If you don't have a map, but you could have picked one up at the guild hall, you should have a map with you, Lyra.
Yeah.
Please feel free to add to your inventory, if you don't have it already, Lyra, a map of Nostea, because you would have taken one with an air of decency anyway. There's a number of charts that show the airship routes, things like that, the movements of the sky cities, how to track them and where to go. The floating cities, harder to track the floating cities because the tides and currents change, but the sky cities are easy to follow. They follow the same patterns all the time. Yeah, for sure. You would have a map of Nostea. Yeah, he watches Celia sort of looks down and goes,
yeah, so I don't have the exact coordinates, but I believe it was northwest of here. Then if you go east from this point, there's like a ridge, a large ridge that looks like the spines of a dragon rising from the, near like a dried up riverbed.
What a coincidence.
Well, it's called the Dragon Spines.
Oh, imaginative name.
As I said, Society of Brilliance. Yeah.
Checks out.
Oh, well, I'll pass this on to Mira, and hopefully she'll be able to send someone to just double check on them, make sure they're still not in too much trouble.
Yeah, thank you. That would be much appreciated. They're a group of idiots, but they're my idiots, the Society of Brilliance.
I hear ya.
Well, I think we should do a toast to Davian.
As a next round of drinks are brought out, but more of the beers, and you watch as another one of those blue cocktails is placed in front of Bart.
Oh.
3? What?
You watch as the matron, the halfling, looks towards you and goes, "You get through that, and you're still able to dance? We'll talk about a third. How about that? Can't do fairer than that."
I'm gonna start trying to down it
as quickly as possible. I would love another Constitution saving throw with disadvantage this time, please, as you are already drunk.
I just look at.
Nice.
I just look at the halfling matron. Matron? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just say in halfling. Oh no! Look what you've done.
Is that a 10 total? That's unfortunate.
Yes. I'll be trying to drink it as one eye is side eyeing her on my owl head. I'm gonna do it right now.
As you neck the second drink, Bart. At this point on, your memory of events starts to really fuzz out and fade. So, your recall of the next little bit is going to be somewhat inhibited as you neck another cocktail. You feel, a bit light, a bit buzzy. You do feel like you can dance, for sure. You can dance. Of course you can. Of course you can dance. Come on.
Can I do two things? One, I would love to do my disadvantaged performance check.
Yes, please.
First. So, bing, bang, boom. A natural 20 and a 15 for a 22. I told you, baby, I got them moves like Jagger.
It's still okay.
That's pretty good.
If you, where do you dance? What do you do? Do you just
my first thought after downing the drink was going to be standing on the table.
Yeah, cool.
Our table as well before Davian's left. And getting ready to start doing the dance.
Oh, he's left. He's still sitting there. He was like, ha.
I'm going to point down at the matron. Have a drink, madame! And then I'm going to start, as if I had my wings and was an Owlin again, leaping from table to table across the tavern.
There are a mixture of cries of alarm and cries of joy as patrons very quickly try to get their drinks out of claw-kicking range as you start leaping from table to table. Niles, you hear a very rude halfling word as Bart climbs onto the table with his sharp Owlin claws and begins jumping from table to table, leaving little gouges and wood chips behind him as he scratches the tables, leaping from each one to each one.
Can I use like my monk's dexterity to like try and like catch any like pieces of cutlery or glasses or anything that's like being kicked out of the way and like try and like minimize the damage of it?
As you quickly duck just behind Bart, moving drinks out of the way rapidly before he can kick them, like getting people's stuff away, like moving very, very quickly. But you don't even see Niles. You're in the moment, you're dancing, you're joyous, you don't even see him. Everyone's clapping, everyone's cheering in your mind. In reality, there are, up on top of the balustrade, a number of the students as they watch Bart traipse around on top of the professors area where a lot of the teachers kind of set up. This is the more quiet, reserved part of the bar. A lot of the students start like clapping and like, yeah, ow, ow, ow. So he starts jumping from table to table. You see the older gentleman that you noticed before with the pipe quickly extinguish the pipe and make his way back out, leaving behind whatever this shit is quickly and rapidly. You hear Celius Grell go, "Oh, fuck," as you watch the halfling turn towards him and go, "Celius, these are your guests."
Yeah, I'll just put a stop to that, shall I?
You watch as Celius Grell stands up, reaches into his pocket, chucks a few gold on the table, and then runs out the door, disappearing from you.
If Lyra can walk up to the bar matron and just be like, "I will find someone at the guild with the mending spell and get them around here tomorrow morning for your tables and anything else he breaks."
Bring past on a table and then stop. "My name is Dream," and give like a wink down at the table. And then continue onwards with another spring off into the distance.
Up on the balustrade, you hear people going, "Nightmare, nightmare, nightmare," as they look at him look at Bart terrorizing the teachers and the professors who are now like trying to like get out. The students blocking their exit and trapping them down here in this section with Bart. There's a bit of like rebellious sort of like teen angst going on here as they see this Owlin leaping from table to table, causing a ruckus, causing a disruption against the people who've been like giving them lots of homework.
22, these are my people.
These are your people. Yeah, and you can, I mean, the cries of like, "Nightmare, nightmare." There are a couple of names being called out, nicknames that you're starting to acquire, but could you roll me a D100, please?
Okay, yeah. 100%.
Just for my own knowledge, Owen, is the Aarakocra and Owlin still present?
Yeah. They're up there cheering along with the rest of the students. For
They're
sure.
cheering along? Okay.
Yeah.
28.
Okay. Okay. You may pick between these two nicknames. It's right on the border of two of the nicknames. You may pick. The Wingless Wonder is one of the ones that's starting to emerge. If you wanted to use that one, that is all yours. Otherwise, the Ghost of the Wizard's Hat is starting to be chatted as well.
That's cool.
No, I like I'm going to take some pride in the first one. The Wingless Wonder.
Yep.
That's cool.
As you see... Yep.
I was going to say, as soon as sort of like he's had a bit of a jump on the table, Lyra can see that the matron is pissed.
Yeah.
He's gonna start trying to round up the cats that are these Owlin and like, Dream. Can't remember if we were using his name in the middle of the city or whatever, but
you can use my name. It's fine.
We're gonna go back to the guild. Meet back up with Harry and the others.
Oh shit! And I'm gonna run to the door.
The problem is, right, there's a contingency of students currently blocking the way for their professors, but like Moses in the Red Sea, as you approach the students, the front group part, and then suddenly rough hands reach out and grab you, and you are lifted up on top of the students who begin like passing you around as as you are passed around the group of students and then thrown back into the lower section again. Could I please have a dexterity saving throw with disadvantage, Bart, as you are thrown back into the pit?
Into the 22 though, as I land gloriously in a roll.
It's pure instinct. Whatever's powering Bart in this moment, it's literally the drunken instinct of his body. The brain's disengaged.
Knowing that I need to get out, and just the instant first plan that comes to my head: drinks on the campus, and I'm going to point out the door.
Drinks on campus, you said?
Yeah.
Drinks on the campus.
Drinks on the campus.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's
no.
a sudden hush, and then you hear one person go, "Fuck yeah!" And then as the students begin cheering, "The Wingless Wonders bringing the beer!" And then they all begin rushing out the door.
Lovely.
You watch as one of the teachers, middle-aged woman, human by the looks of it, hair done up in a tight bun, what looks almost like two wands holding, like pinning her hair up in this bun. You watch as she turns towards you. In your mind, but you're ready to receive praise for your work. It's when you notice her expression, you realize probably not what's about to happen, as you see this cold fury on her face as she turns towards you and goes, "What have you done?"
Oh, you look sad. Did you know Debian too? I'll put it in. I'm sorry. You have my condolences.
Who is Devian? Unhand me, owl, this instant.
I'm so sorry for your loss. I have places to be, though.
Let go of me this instant. Guards! She begins calling out.
I'll, let go and join the other twos are leaving.
As you sort of look around, Ember's gone. You're not sure at what point Ember pieced out, but at some point during this chaos, Ember has made a hasty retreat. The only sign that he was here is a tiny scorch mark on the floor. You get the sense that he fiery teleported out of here. Ember just was like, nah. Boom, out of there. Lyra and Azabat, as you make your way towards the front, you feel a gentle tug on your coat, Lyra. You look down and you see the matron. Yeah.
I was going to say, before we left, Lyra would have made sure that she fixed up
perfect.
the left, the IOU, sorted out, left the guild card. It's like, she's going to sort it,
It's okay.
find
It's
someone to
okay.
help sort it.
It's okay, lass. Celius has put down enough gold to cover some of the drinks tonight. I'm only 4 silvers short. I can take it out of his. If he agreed to pay for you, I can take it out of his tab. And if you've got people coming around to fix any damages,
You're fine. I'll pull out 4 gold and place that on the table.
Just she looks at the gold, looks up at you guys and goes,
there's no need to come back in the morning to repair it. It's fine. This will cover any damages. Just don't come back, please, for a bit.
Yeah.
And maybe next time when I give advice on who should be drinking and who should not be drinking.
I'll bring Satine here.
as she turns towards Bart. No, not to you, Lyra. She's saying that one towards Bart.
Next time I give advice on drinking, maybe you should. Well, no, you're feeling great right now. In the morning, I want you to remember this. You're not going to, but I want you to. Okay?
Lyra's inner
Remember what?
monologue. Yeah. The inner monologue right now is just, it's like, I tried to stop you from going for the second drink. I tried.
This is only 2 drinks. Can you imagine what a third would have looked like? As you make your way outside into the cold air. Oh yeah, sorry, Bart.
Well, no, as we do head into the dark, I'd mentioned there was at the start 2 things. 1, the jumping on the table, and 2, thoughts that were very heavily on Bart's mind that I think the alcohol would allow. 1 is the want to dance again. This was definitely more for, I think, himself than anything. And 2, as we do get into, I guess, dark alleys heading back to the Tempest, Niles, I don't like hiding secrets. I'm just going to come clean.
Oh.
Maybe this might help us. In the future, you said he wanted to talk to you, and I'll pull out the soul coin.
Amazing.
As we walk back, I'm just keeping an ear out for tails or
Ember's going to do the
anything.
same. Ember's going to do the same with you.
Really hoping that I might get my wings back some sort of a way. I'm really nervous about meeting Satine again. Like, you have no idea. Shitting bricks.
Well, yes, we have to talk about that. But yes, we'll get your wings back. But that is a bit of fire you have there, my friend.
I also thought I can't fight my dad and an entire army, but like, I don't know, maybe this.
Well, it's not just your dad and his army; it's also Nick's.
I know there's so much shit to deal with. Having something helpful on our side would be nice.
But look, let's just take it back to the guild hall. I glance around. Maybe not the best time to be. Unless are you saying this telepathically?
No, out loud, holding the coin like
shit.
in front of all of us.
I'd like,
Do you-
maybe we just take this man back to the guild hall and talk about it there.
Okay, I'll slip it back in.
As you're making your way along the streets, luckily you're not taking any back alleys. It's one main road down towards the harbour link, and then as you're getting down to the crossroads, you can see walking only a few paces in front of you, Harry and Inkspren, having finished their ice creams. Inkspren now fully covered up once again. Harry,
What's the mood like? What's the mood like?
Lyra is looking a bit uncomfortable and embarrassed.
The party's whatever. I'm in the mood between Inkspren and Harry.
What's the mood with Inkspren and Harry? I tell you what. Can you make me I want you to make me a charisma check. I want to see how charismatic Harry's been.
Oh, you're pretty charismatic, though.
He's pretty charismatic. I reckon he's going to do.
You little
Wait, that's
bunny.
a saving throw, sorry.
No, not a saving throw, just a flat check.
Wait, what did you roll?
I
Oh,
rolled
no.
a 2 on the dice.
I've never done all of those things.
Oh no!
What do I add to that?
What's your charisma? What's your flat charisma score?
+4, yeah, so that's a 6.
Yeah.
I love that there's been an advantage given to every single member except Harry.
And Lyra.
So
Oh no,
great.
that's not true. Lyra did get one.
Oh,
Yeah.
I said except Harry.
No, you're right. Yeah. I was like, except Lyra. And then I went, no, you actually.
No,
Ali got fucking Brandon stepping in to hand out an advantage.
It's
Sorry.
alright. I would have wasted it on a roll like this.
It's not wasted.
I'm trying to raise up jellyfish.
Oh man.
I think it was my
Wow.
first campaign. We were in a tavern, and I used my bardic inspiration on one of the tavern girls when we were in the middle of a fight.
That's so funny. Oh my god.
Anyway, this is a 6.
Oh,
Don't
you,
worry,
you
it's
have
not that.
you have been granted this, and this is one of the reasons why I delayed a little bit. You have been granted advantage from obscenities. Please feel free to re-roll your charisma check
Done.
if you want to.
Obscenities.
You don't have to use it on this. You can keep it. But
This is your fault now for this
I'm
shit.
using it on this.
Obscenities.
This is the important rolls. Is it coming through? No, not.
it's going to be a natural 20. I can feel it.
That's a
23.
So 19 on the dice.
3.
Thank you,
That's so
obscenities.
funny.
Did you go from a 2 on the dice to a 19 on the dice? You're like skirting the edge of the natural fail and natural.
Exactly.
It's pretty funny.
Wow.
As
This is
you-
why I need reliable talent.
Harry is crit adjacent
Yeah,
it's
tonight.
like this.
Very crit adjacent as we get through the roll. Nice. Hey, Harry, what kind of things would you be chatting to Inkspren about as you make your way through the streets? What kind of
Just trying to make small talk. So,
Okay.
oh yeah. How long you been there at the shop? Oh yeah, you seen lots of other businesses come and go. If you could invest in another business, what would it be? If she's ever done a lot with people from the Feywild.
Good question.
Yes,
Any other
yes.
questions that you'd like answered?
Yeah. Yeah. So Harry's making small talk, and he's
Yeah.
asking all the smaller questions, but mixing in the more important.
Pretty heavy
person,
stuff at the same time. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, we're in the Fey. Like, if she's ever had anything to do with the Feywild, if so, kind of like sussing out a few questions about that.
I have not been to the Feywilds. It's not a realm I have been to. I haven't really traveled the realms at all. I have spent all my time here. Nostea, this is my home. As far as I was aware, realm travel was not very common or easy until fairly recently, so I have only been here. On the surface, I have been here for maybe, I think 100, maybe 200 years? Yeah, probably about that.
In before that, are you from? You say on the surface, like you're not from the surface. You're from.
No, I am from
under
the ocean.
Surface?
Have you heard of the Triton before?
No, I haven't. Is that near Oxenford, or is that further?
Triton are a group of people, a race of people, aquatic, who live, travel between the ocean, the depths of the ocean and the surface. My people, there are not many of us, the Snidare, but we are deeper again. As far as I'm aware, one of the only members of my kind to come to the surface world.
Wow. Did you? I mean, if you don't mind me asking, are you here by choice?
Yes. No, I am
Do you
here
go
by
back
choice.
to see family often, or?
I don't have many family. I didn't fit in as well with my people. We live in the depths of a chasm or trench over in the ocean between here and the Ayla. To the west of here, there is a very large chasm. We live along the walls of that, partway down. In the darkness. I always loved the light. Painted with light, worked with light. It was the light that always drew me. Eventually, I wanted to live in the light as well. So I came to the surface. I have gotten much better adapted to it. It is so bright. I struggle to come out in the day, but night with all these candles around. It's like being in one of my paintings. It's beautiful.
That sounds pretty good. I know a bit about leaving home, but it was really brave of you to chase a dream and come out here where you're different from everyone else. That's really amazing.
I hadn't really thought about it. Thank you. You have left your family behind as well?
Yeah, no, there were circumstances, and it was in everyone's best interest that I leave. Which, you know, it's the way things are. But unlike yourself, I had a big family, a lot of brothers, sisters, and in that. But you know, sometimes it just doesn't work out, and you have to go on your own. But I made some new friends. Like I got Figment here, who's yeah, I mean, like, we're good buddies, aren't we, Fig?
There's a momentary pause, and then you watch as your heartstone glows for a moment as the illusionary version of Figment projects up over your arm, sort of clinging onto your shoulders, the little rabbit sort of mask looking around as you hear Figment go,
Yes, Harry. It is nice. We are friends. And any friend of Harry's is one of my friends as well.
Well, I mean, honestly, at this point, a lot of my friends are kind of like my new family.
Then friends of Harry are family of Figment?
Family in an extension of the word. So not quite the definition of being blood related, but family
I have no blood.
terms
I
of...
can't be related.
Yeah, well, so then the only family you have is non-figurative family. So us in the party, we're we're got each other's backs, and we're going on adventures and having times together, and we'll bicker, we'll have arguments, and we won't necessarily agree with each other, but we're pretty much family. And Inkspring, if you join or even set up shop in the Night Hall, we can see you more often, and we can all be family.
I think I would like that. My people live for a very long time. Very long time. One of the problems with coming to the surface is the friends that I made when I first got here are gone. It's one of the reasons I traveled for a while. One of the reasons why I probably settled down and didn't go out as much. I didn't try to make friends. But I think I have been missing that for a while. This is nice.
Oh yeah, we have some next to ancient people in the guild hall, and I myself should live about to 100, so we can be friends for a long time.
100 is a good number of years. That is many years that you can enjoy.
It could be worse, could be better, but I like to think it could be worse, so I'm pretty happy with it.
There's a sense of discomfort, as if Inkspren, not pity, but there's a tone there that 100 years, for her, that's not a long time. You're not sure what the comparison is, but for her, do you want to make me an insight check? Make me an insight check. Let's see what you can pick up as you
As a
resurrect.
side note,
Yeah.
who is the oldest NPC or character in the Tempest Guild?
Probably Lyra.
Shana probably,
Shana,
but then
Shana,
Lyra.
Shana, yeah.
Shana was what, like 600?
A bit older than that, yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, Loki
was-
is like thousands of years old, technically.
Well, but the problem is, right, you got to keep in mind as well with Loki and with Lyra and with Shana, even though they're chronologically that old, Loki was powered down for hundreds of years. Lyra and Shana were in stasis for hundreds of years. Like, the part of the problem is like there's an age there, but it doesn't quite translate in the same way. Like, yeah, true. Loki
in America.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. That's a weird one to go for, but I'll take it. Spot on. 11, Harry. Yeah. That's all you get, unfortunately. For her, 100 years is not a long time.
The thing about a shorter life is it drives you more to accomplish more in that life. So there's a lot more that I still need to do, and there's a lot more a lot of wrongs I need to right. So,
Yes, I think you might be right. I often find myself putting things off or waiting, knowing that I have time. Nothing but time.
Yeah, no, it's just like that. But yeah, no, we can have a good time. So yeah, we'll keep. Oh, hey guys, hey.
Perfect timing.
Harry, it's so good to see you again. I thought we lost you.
You smell like.
I'll come up and slap you.
You smell like
Lavender.
yes.
No, it smells like we had lavender cocktails spilled a bit on him. He'd smell like lavender, quite strong lavender.
Yeah.
You smell like up dog.
Oh god. Seriously.
No.
Yeah, maybe Figman, you want to take this one?
What's up, dog? Walking to the Tempest.
Please excuse Bart. It's his first encounter with alcoholic beverages tonight.
Also, we have been banned from the Witch's Brew.
Yes, don't go back there anytime soon. Mentioning the Tempest Guild.
I haven't been there. I can go back.
Just don't mention the Tempest Guild.
Yes.
Did you give out business cards, Niles?
Well, actually, Lyra handled that this time, right?
Yeah, it was more of a business card in the sense of handling damages and public
You
relationships.
never said Tempest Guild though. You just said our guild will be back. Someone from our guild will be back in the morning. You actually.
Oh, we did hand the business cards though, so they do know.
Oh, you did? Okay, yeah.
I'm pretty sure Lyra did, right?
I think I did say. Like, is it like, you know, take responsibility. Like, you know, don't want to be known as the guild that trashed and didn't leave a name.
But if you're drunk, what are you intending to do with the Cambion? Are you intending to take his deal in like next time you see him?
Look, I was talking to Niles about it, and like, I just.
Hey, just before we don't have this conversation in the middle of the street. You know, we can have this conversation when we
wait.
Yeah.
What Lyra said inside, please.
I'm on the fence.
Okay. Well, we'll try to convince you until between now and then. Okay, that is good to know.
In the guild hall. In the guild hall. Not here.
In the guild hall, Harry. Which way is that?
Can Lyra just lightly just start pushing Bart from behind in the direction of the guild hall?
Yeah, for sure. As you
She's like round cats.
As you carry on, it's not much further, thankfully. As you approach the front gate of the guild, push your way in, sort of finagle Bart through the front gate and in through the front door.
Oh, this is great. It's like free walking. I don't have to put any effort in.
Yeah. As you get inside and, I'm guessing, guide Bart to the nearest chair, or are you just... He's inside, he's on the floor.
Possibly the bathroom. Like, she might, like, sort of, you know, get him into the bathroom, like, make sure he has some water, like, stick a sign on the door. There's just, like, drunk Bart in here.
I'll use some of my powers and just cleanse myself. I don't have any... Beep. Okay, we're good.
Nothing changes. As you see Bart just touch his neck and say beep.
Yeah, I got no spell slots, guys. Yeah.
I don't cast magic, I just hit things. Good luck.
As you step inside and sit yourselves down, it's a moment later when you realize you're not alone in the in this sort of like dining area. One of the seats, which is kind of turned away a little bit from the firelight, slowly spins back around, and you see Lyra sitting there with a large scroll rolled up in her hands as she looks over, single scaly eyebrow raised as she watches you kind of like stumble in, push Bart into a bathroom, put a pitcher of water in front of him and close the door. And then you hear from inside, beep, from Bart.
Well, hello there. All going okay? I see you've been enjoying the delights of Oxenfurt.
Yep.
Yep.
Turns out Bart has never experienced alcohol before. Also, turns out we are now possibly banned from the Witch's Brew.
That is a shame. Is there anything I need to prepare a statement for?
No.
Essentially someone with some mending or tape.
Yeah. We paid damages, and she said that it probably wouldn't be necessary, but I thought just, you know, guild relations kind of thing. If there
Guys,
is
I'm
someone...
getting FOMO out in here.
Are you going to throw up in this room?
No, fear of missing out. Please. I hear a conversation.
Just open the door. It's not, the bathroom's not that far from the sitting room.
I don't know. I'm not trying. I like fear.
Which is Ember leans over, slowly opens the door, and then kind of stands a bit bodily in front, so you have to kind of push out past him to get away.
He's a bouncer.
Sorry, Ember. You don't. You probably don't realize that you're blocking the way.
Yeah. No, I'm aware.
Mira, this is Bart. Bartholomew.
Hello,
Bartholomew. This is Mira.
Hello, Bartholomew.
But the dragonborn in front of you is a chimeric dragonborn. She has both red and was it red and silver scales? Red and silver scales. Sort of presenting across her body in these patterns. Mostly red on one side, mostly silver on the other, but there's patterns where they kind of swirl and move across the center. Across this kind of like midline.
You, Azur mentioned you, the very happy chap. He said that you're co-bosses. It's lovely to meet the other half.
Yes, that is how he would put it, I think. Yes. It is wonderful to meet you.
Lovely to meet you.
Do you need some water?
Same as at the tavern. I'm going to see if I can embrace her in just a hug.
Oh, no. What
as you kind of like go to push past Ember.
You might need to
Still blocking
re-roll a character sheet after this.
No, Mira's not scary. As you go to sort of push past Ember, Mira, sort of seeing what you're doing, reaches over and puts a hand out to shake your hand.
Oh, I'll grab it with both. Very nice to meet you. My name is Bartholomew, but some people might be calling me Dream. I was in slavery. It was a whole thing.
Codename. We used codenames sometimes. We were not very consistent with them, unfortunately. I will try to be consistent with yours.
Thank you. Thank you. I've heard great things about you from everyone here. And we've tried to help as well. We've made a marketing campaign.
Wonderful. I look forward to seeing what your efforts have created. Now, I understand you wanted to speak with me. Azua sent a message while I was in with the Oxenford Council.
Yes,
I'm going to look for a seat and let them do the talking.
We do. Just before we get onto that topic, she sort of look over at Inkspren and it's just like, we also wanted to inquire about maybe if there was room in the guild for another person similar to how Hal works, as a guild associate, but, it's sort of also, they've still got their own sort of free license to do what they want, but this is Inkspren. And she does...
Mira nods.
Hello, Inkspren. We've met before.
You watch as Inkspren nods and goes,
easier.
I know Mira. She came to my shop. She was interested in the tattoos. Yes, I know Mira well. We have had many chats. I did not know you were part of the same group.
Just Mira nods.
Yes, Inkspren, I think we should indeed have a chat. Potentially, we would be interested in having you join us. For now, I understand you may want to have a seat or an explore of the guild hall.
As Inkspren sort of looks around the room, gets the hint that maybe there might be a bit of discussion about other stuff, nods and goes like,
yes, I will, I would love to see the gardens. Yes, I have another idea. Have you met Azua?
Inkspren sort of slowly shakes her head and Mira goes,
it is an experience. Give me one moment. Azua.
She calls out. You watch as Azua bounds down the stairs, goes like, welcome back. But
looking over to the very nice, I'm guessing for the Tempest Guild, flourished chair, Bart's asleep.
Oh, sorry. I'll try and keep my voice down. Yes, got someone. I'll take them for the tour. We'll be back in 5 minutes.
Just Mira nods.
5 minutes. We'll be back in 5 minutes. See you in a moment. Come with me, Inkspren.
Watch as Azua leads off, talking quite loudly, showing Inkspren stuff as he moves around the guild hall.
Well, if you're looking to join us, we have the finest accommodation this side of the river. Let me show you.
As he starts taking her around and showing off the guild hall. Watch as Mira nods and goes,
Yes, Inkspren would be a valuable addition. I had not even thought to try and convince her to change her business, but if she is willing to consider working with us, that would be very interesting. Her tattoo designs, very, very interesting. The magic behind them is something I had not seen before.
Underappreciated, I believe, in the dock area.
Indeed.
I believe a shop here in the thoroughfare next to the guild hall, in the night hall, no less, would be
it's far more central.
Indeed.
Now,
Even with Firbolg in development as well.
It could be a pretty big effort moving his shop, though, so we might have to help out with that as a guild. Not that I'm a member yet. I need to go sign up still.
Oh, have you not been given the documents? Bart, I'm guessing, has not either then?
Well, no, Bart is a more recent acquisition.
Well, he can't
yes.
sign them in this state. That would not be
I think perhaps in the morning.
Wait for him to be sober. But Harry, if you wanted to look over these documents tonight and give them back when you're ready to join.
Just Mira reaches into a shoulder bag, pulls out a bound envelope and hands it to you, and then places one on Bart's lap.
Harry gracefully receives it with two hands and gives her a little bow.
Oh, very formal.
Thank you, Philippe.
My pleasure. Now, I understand some things happened in the Underdark. Azur's report was very brief, but I would love to hear from you. Is there anything of importance I need to know right away?
Well.
Yes.
Yes.
The short of it is we think that there is some form of intelligence living in the Heartstones that are stuck in our hands, and that might be system-wide, and it might also affect Loki.
That is
and
not good news.
All the other giant stuff.
If you wanted to quickly take her through a brief timeline of what happened in the Underdark, I'm more than happy to just have that. We share what happened.
Yeah.
Is there anything you don't tell her specifically, or do you kind of share what happened in order?
I think after the debacle from like the previous campaign, I think Lyra makes sure to fill Mira in.
I think Niles is just totally truthful about everything.
Cool. Including the Aarakocra aristocracy situation?
Yes. Yeah.
Excellent. I'd say for that bit, if you wanted to wake up Bart, that would probably be an okay thing as well.
Yeah.
Just for that bit, just to nudge him awake.
I would do that.
As you sort of finish your spiel, you watch as Mira sort of like, this whole time, hands sort of together, balanced on her chin, listens very closely. And then as you sort of get to the end of your story, she goes, right, that's a lot. Let's start.
2 weeks.
Yeah, you've been busy. This feels like old times, hey, Lyra.
Well, for what was apparently a reconnaissance mission, it ended up being a bit more than that.
That is always the way with the Tempest Guild. We tend to get in over our heads very quickly. It's the pattern.
Yes.
Right, you are continuing a fine tradition. Well,
that's good to know.
Let's start with the most pressing matter. This demon, this Cambion, was interested in the Heartstones and helped corrupt a Heartstone. That is concerning. I fear the demonic influence. Given this is some influence from the Nine Hells, I wonder if this could be payback or retribution from Tiamat herself. Remember, the giants were responsible, helped to push her back through the portal. Their king, Mion, gave his life to stop them coming through. I would not be surprised if she had a hand in this somehow. Or
would studying something of its help you identify with who they are loyaling up to? Because we have two objects. One's over in the Wizard's Tower, that place that I think we gave like space aids. But I do have a coin just here.
I would be happy to have a look. Yes.
Well, actually, Mira, I was going to mention that Vice back in the spy you spoke to.
Yes, the tiefling. I spoke with him briefly. Seemed.
What did you say to him exactly?
Oh, nothing of too much import.
No, it is important.
Exactly.
That's the devil.
That is
the Cambion.
Speaking about it's the Cambion.
Vice was the Cambion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unbeknownst to us at the time, it's been revealed.
Okay, that's
in hindsight.
That is concerning. I merely introduced who I was, said a little bit about my history, and I may have, when it became apparent he was being a bit evasive, a bit frustrating, I may have let a little bit of my magic show. Since Tiamat was banished, my ability to draw upon her power as an avatar of her has been very weakened, but there are still echoes of her power, so when I need a bit of an edge in a conversation, I sometimes split my shadow into 5 and do the whole scary thing.
Oh, so you did that? Oh.
Well, I thought he was just a tiefling that we needed.
No,
Yeah.
So did we. Okay. Cool.
I can show you exactly what I did if you like.
I mean, it's always
It'd be kind of cool.
I wouldn't say no.
You watch as Mira slowly stands up, places the scroll down, and then as she turns towards you, you watch as she seems to grow a little bit taller. As the room begins to shrink around you, the shadows darkening, you watch as behind her on the wall, her shadow rises and splits into these 5 dragon heads as you feel this rush of heat and wind pooling around you. As her eyes turn to you, you see lights and colors flash behind them, and as she opens her mouth, a voice like terrible thunder. Stand down. And then you watch as the shadows collapse back in, and then it's just Mira standing there a moment later.
Harry drops.
My.
Sorry. I've actually not seen what it looks like in a mirror. There's not a mirror big enough to kind of see, but the first time I did it, it seemed rather spooky, and I thought it was useful in negotiations to speed things along. Judging by the reaction of Harry, it's a bit more spooky than I thought. Maybe I should save this.
It was awesome. It was intense. It wasn't. It was good. It's useful.
I'm having a bad experience tonight.
Sorry.
I feel like you could probably, on like a big, like, calm lake shore or something with like a cool rock behind you, you could probably, do the thing, and then you can see it in the reflection of the lake if you can't put a mirror big enough. But
it's a good idea. Yes.
But when you said that just then, was it your own voice, or did you hear the resonance?
Oh, it's just my voice. Is it not my voice?
It's not your voice.
Okay, that's good to know.
And you get taller as well.
Not from my perspective. In my perspective, I sort of stand before you, sort of concentrate a bit, and then I feel this rush of magic through my fingers.
Is this the one that was split from you, Lyra? I'm still learning the names.
No, this is,
no.
No?
This is Mira, who absorbed a bit of the power of Tiamat a couple of months back.
You're getting Mira and Shana mixed up.
More than that,
Yeah, I am.
I was born destined to be Tiamat's avatar, but I rejected that destiny.
I'm sorry, I got it confused. I thought you might be able to help us with the Tatiana Sealy Court shenanigans.
Yes, that is another thing we need to talk about as well. That is also a problem. And you said you spoke to Varus, and he was not very helpful. I can't say that's out of the ordinary. Varus is not often very
I tell you
helpful.
who wasn't helpful, Dewey.
Yes, he sounds...
Pray you never meet him.
Sounds tricksy.
Very tricksy.
And he's certainly not an Eladrin. I'm sure you already figured that out, but he's not an Eladrin. That is definitely a Fey spirit.
He's very... Oh, you go, Lyra.
I was just going to say, just given the spell that I used to summon Fae, which, in hindsight, maybe not the greatest idea, but, I did find it strange that, an Eladrin came through, but,
You did seem very adamant that Lyra had taken something, though.
Yes, that's confusing.
Something, I think, specifically.
Yes, that is odd. I mean, I was there when you were brought back, Lyra.
I literally didn't have anything.
You were very naked. Yes, you had. Yes.
Did you see a little blush on Mira's cheeks?
Yes, there was. I don't know where you could have hidden something. Let's say it that way.
Actually, speaking of the flesh sculpting bodybuilder, do you remember where that was?
Yes. You need to head south of Posted. It is between Posted and Wildwatch.
Can I ask her to mark it on my map?
She points at the map. It's near the Freyshore, near the big lake.
Alright.
Just south of Oxenfurt, southeast of Oxenfurt.
Oh, excellent. Not that far at all. Yes, we do have an Owlin here that is in need of some new wings, so we should be paying him a visit soon.
Be surprised if the wings would not be on his ability. He seemed concerningly capable at his craft of flesh sculpting.
Speaking of locations marked on a map, we just came from the university and had a chat with Professor Grell, and long story short, we were talking a little bit about the Underdark and the society, but he did mention that the society is on some secret society business in was it
Chiari.
Balmier or Chiari?
Chiari. Balmier's
Chiari.
dwarves, Chiari's dragons.
In Chiari, around this location. She just sort of shows them the.
What were they doing there? The Society of Brilliance.
Apparently, they found some pretty ruined caves.
Oh, just to check, wasn't the
Dragons.
excavating dragon runes, wasn't that in Belmere?
Chiari.
Okay.
Ah, okay. I think you did say Belmere.
Did I? Sorry, that's my fault
You
then.
might have,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely in Chiari.
Okay. That's why I asked about the plants, because I was like, are they Chiarian plants or are they regular plants?
Sorry, that's my bad. Yeah, because there's an outpost in Balmere, and then the one where they're doing the excavation is in Chiari.
Ah, so this is okay. That's good to know. Okay.
Yeah, they wanted us to check on them.
Oh, okay. I might.
He was a little bit worried.
I might send Yervith. He was planning on heading to Chiari soon anyway. We were hoping to enlist the help of some of the Eldar dragons in our efforts to bring unity back to the giants. Things are not going great.
Yes.
Yes.
Zura sort of told us about that.
Well, it's getting worse from our end of things. The Oxenfurt Council are being very, I don't want to say aggressive, but are being quite aggressive. They are refusing to cede any of the old giant lands back to them. The problem is some of the members of the council have private investments, have private holdings of these lands. They are assets for them, and they are not willing to even part with them for the giants.
Do you have a Heartstone like all of us?
No, I have no Heartstone. I would be very curious to have one to see what happens with it, but no, you picked these up right before I met with you at Last Spire, yes?
From Vice's Tavern.
If it's your first time interacting with any of it, have you met Figment yet?
You mentioned Figment, Harry's patron? Entity living inside the stone?
Wait. He's my patron?
You have made a deal with this entity, yes? Sounds a bit like a warlock pact.
Oh, I thought it might have been, but wait, maybe I'm his patron.
You watch as like the stone glows as Figment slowly like emerges from behind Harry, like leaning on his shoulder again, looks over and goes,
We made a deal, but it felt more like friends than a bargain or a pact. I just thought we were helping each other.
Yeah, it goes both ways, but I guess that's one way to look at it. Maybe we're both warlocks, Figment.
You're each other's patrons.
yeah.
Maybe this is different. My experience with warlocks is mostly around Shana, whose relationship with Varys is very different. Maybe this is a better way. Maybe this is... I know not. Yes, we do need to talk about that as well, the phase situation, and about the Heartstones. There is much to discuss. Let's settle down. Let's sort this out, eh?
I think that's where I'm going to wrap up for tonight, just so Simon doesn't miss too much of it, because that's a big
good
conversation. So I will pause it there.
Big conversation.
Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. We will see you all in the next episode. I hope you've had a wonderful time. Remember to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and if you're feeling especially fantastic, leave a comment. That really, really helps us out. We are going to go and raid another channel, so those of you joining us on Twitch, don't go anywhere. Stay right where you are. Those of you watching...
Thanks again to Ultra Pissed for the raid.
Thank you to Ultra Pissed for the raid, who was not Australian, it turns out. Which
really
is hilarious.
loves pissing.
Yeah, we made a real judgment on that, didn't we?
An assumption made an ass out of you and me, right?
Yeah, I think we might have shown too much of our psychology there as Australians. I'm just seeing our normal raid is not happening. So let's go and raid Lucka Baby, who are doing D&D, but I don't know exactly which D&D. Oh, and I tell you what. There's an Aussie group called the Baker Cam who are doing a Pathfinder campaign called Aetheria, which sounds fucking awesome. They've only got one view. Let's go give them some viewers. Let's go raid them right now. I think it'll be loads of fun. Let's give them some love. Let's go raid them right now. Oh, and they've done the Hero Forged minis. They look awesome. Let's get that across right now. Thank you so much, everybody. We will see you all in the next episode. Until then, stay safe, stay well, and see you guys all again soon. Goodbye.
Later.
See ya.
Bye.